afternoon. This question is for the entire delegation. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. So you probably can't see me, but my name is Katya and I am a refugee. I arrived in this country as a 10-year-old. With my family, so, you know, refugees might be scary. I guess moved to Trump, but I'm not sure what is so scary. But I want to make it clear that as a Soviet Jewish refugee, I absolutely did not face even 100th of the danger that is now being faced by Syrian refugees and displaced persons, by people who are truly fleeing for their lives rather than for freedom to worship or for a greater comfort. So I have spent the past week or so in a state of tears and panic over what was happening in the country that I have made my own, my beloved country, over the disgraceful Muslim ban, which whatever legalese they cloak it in is exactly what it is. And I obviously am overjoyed that at this time the courts did their jobs, that they have put a stop to this absolute national disgrace. So my question is, how can we ensure that the president and his interesting advisors do not simply get somebody slightly more organized and intellectually capable to rewrite it in slightly nicer terms?
Well, he's certainly capable of trying to do that, but once again, it'll go right to courts. And once again, we hope that the courts show the same knowledge and also empathy that the judge in Washington State did and the Ninth Circuit judges did. And that is one of the checks, one of the fundamental checks on excessive executive power. And we hope that check stays in fact in his power.
What can we do besides hope, both as you as elected officials and us as ordinary citizens? What should be done now to protect our brothers and sisters? And I hope we all will consider them brothers and sisters.
Some of this is process and some of this is courts, but some of it is also, you know, groups like this and letting people know that they're welcome. For those of you who were inside at Nathan Bishop a few weeks ago, the chairman of the board of our Muslim school stood up and the crowd gave him a standing ovation. That makes a big difference when a community applauds somebody who is under pressure and under scrutiny and under attack by this president. So don't give up on the small gestures as well as the big process fights. We need to stand with these people. I remember seeing Syrian refugees coming through Serbia when I traveled to Serbia to see the refugee pipeline. Mothers with children, little kids. I'll repost the pictures I took. You take a look at these faces and you think, how is that the face of evil? It is not the face of evil.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think one thing that's really important is to be sure that you're using your voice to remind people of our long history of being a country that welcomed refugees who are fleeing unspeakable violence and war and famine. I had the opportunity to visit a Syrian refugee camp in Jordan, and these are doctors and lawyers and school teachers and parents and children that are fleeing unbelievable violence and the same terror we're fighting around the world. They're fleeing, and the idea that they would come to the doors of America and would slam it shut is something which is sickening. And we have a responsibility. I've been very vocal in the Congress on the issue of refugees. I called on President Obama to increase the number of Syrian refugees. You should know that the process that we have in place to come into the United States through this refugee resettlement program is the single most difficult way to get into America. It's a 13-step process. It takes 18 to 24 months. There has never been a Syrian refugee who has been admitted to the United States who has been convicted of any kind of terrorism-related activity. If you look around the world, countries have taken, like Turkey have taken 2 million, Jordan has taken 500,000, Germany has taken 800,000. We've taken like 16,000 in the entire country last year. So we have a lot more work to do to honor our history as a great place that welcomes people fleeing violence and unspeakable famine and war. And adding, making sure people understand that history and are committed to, as Sheldon said, doing everything we can. There are a lot of refugee resettlement organizations that are helping families here, supporting them, and making refugees in the country without food.
Jackson,
In an administration that does not like facts, two facts should be stressed over and over by everyone. David just mentioned one. We have the most significant vetting process on refugees worldwide. Biometric information, multiple interviews, etc. The second fact, most of these refugees are women and children or disabled men. These are people who suffered the Europe second chance. Those facts have to get out.
So I would say this, I would hope that again, Rhode Island, what we can do is make sure that Rhode Island continues to be the welcoming place that it has always been. This is where it's so important to continue to uphold the principles of the Constitution. I'm sure that Donald Trump is used to walking into a boardroom and people stand up and salute. Well, he's running into now the concept of three separate but co-equal branches of government, and he can't just ride roughshod and jam through things that he wants.